So what does iPhones and tracking have to do with YouTubers not uploading videos? Well, it all boils down to money at the end of the day. Why your favorite YouTubers don't post to YouTube as much as they used to. What up, internet world? It's your boy Jermaine back with another video. So this video, I thought I would hit y'all with a video with a couple golden nuggets in this one. A couple things that you guys have probably noticed over the past year or 2 years. And let's just jump right into this. So first off, I've been a YouTuber for like 6 years, and I really love like creating videos on YouTube and stuff like that. I've also followed a lot of other creators for a very long time, and I've noticed within the past year, there's been a couple of things that have greatly changed, right? So first off, let's just point out just one scenario I've noticed with YouTubers. So right, maybe a year ago, there was a handful of YouTube channels I was following. And they're the type of channels that they would make like one video per week, and they would talk about a particular topic, okay? So nowadays, I've noticed that a lot of those YouTube accounts that used to make one video a week, a lot of them now make one video per day. So anywhere from 5 videos to 7 videos per day. And I kind of noticed that because, you know, maybe like a year ago, like I would get really excited when I see certain YouTubers drop videos. I'm like, oh yeah, it's about that time of the week they just dropped a video. But now they literally drop videos like every other day. So it's like I still get excited, but it's like, oh, you're just making more videos now, right? Another thing I've noticed with some creators, I don't know if you guys have noticed this a lot, but the rise of Patreon. You have so many people pushing Patreon nowadays. There's one YouTuber I used to follow, Solving the Money Problem, and I remember like a year ago, he would talk about his Patreon, right? He would talk about, add me on Patreon, you know, I got some videos over there, and I also have, you know, my Tesla target prices and stuff like that if you add me on Patreon. Well, that was a year ago. He would maybe make like a 5-second, a 10-second plug promoting his Patreon. Now, when he talks about his Patreon, it's like 30 seconds. It's like, oh, add me on Patreon, I have these videos, and I have this video, and it's just on and on and on. This is just one YouTuber, right? He talks mainly about Tesla. There's other YouTubers I follow that talk about relationships and dating and stuff like that. The amount of times that they plug their Patreon into the video is like, it's kind of insane. It's like, bruh, like I think we would already sign up for the Patreon, right? Now, let's go back in time. Now, let's go back and let's talk about Apple. Because a lot of people like Apple. A lot of people have iPhones. Myself, I have an iPhone. About a year ago, this happened more than a year ago, but Apple did this software update where it would ask you if you would like to be tracked or not. Okay, so for an app like YouTube, it would ask you, would you like to be tracked? For an app like Instagram, it would ask you, would you like to be tracked? And most people would say no. But, you know, ideally, these companies like Google and Facebook, they want you to say yes so they can track you. So what does iPhones and tracking have to do with YouTubers not uploading videos? Well, it all boils down to money at the end of the day. Yeah, it boils down to money. So when I first started creating videos on YouTube, back in the day, I remember the amount of money I was making from YouTube because I was talking about, you know, Uber, which has somewhat of a high CPM rate. If you're talking about like cooking or you're talking about like skateboarding or traveling, these things tend to have low CPM rates, the amount of money that you make. But if you're talking about things like, you know, financial products or crypto or stock market or certain jobs, or real estate, I mean, the CPMs are way higher, right? So when I first started, you know, making videos on YouTube, I would just upload videos, right? And I would, you know, start to get paid. You know, maybe I'd make, you know, $30 a day, and then $50 a day, and then $100 a day, and then it just went on and on, right? Well, the reason why I was able to make that money, and a lot of people are able to make a lot of money just only from YouTube. No ads, no links, no nothing, just only from posting on YouTube. It's because back then, apps were tracking people, right? So I don't know if you guys know, but like, remember you would go to like Google search and you would type in flights to Europe, right? And then an hour later, you would be on Facebook and you'd be scrolling and you would see like flights to Europe, like popping up on your Facebook like time feed and you're like, wait, didn't I just search that like an hour ago? That is the tracking working, right? Because it's tracking you. It saw that you searched this and now it's showing you over here on this different app. Bam, you sure you want to buy this? Because we know you searched it earlier, right? So Apple doesn't like this. Apple's like, nah, we don't like the fact that we make the phone because Apple makes the iPhone. We don't like the fact that companies like Google and Facebook coming over here making billions of dollars off of the phone that we made. So Apple says, we're gonna start doing this tracking. So when Apple started doing this tracking, a lot of people, especially on iOS, they update their phones immediately, right? So there's a high adoption rate. Like people, whenever that software update hit, people always hit it, especially on iPhones. On Androids, people don't do this near as fast. They don't do it as quick, right? So when you have all these people, upgrading their iPhones, getting new iPhones, well, they're getting that tracking turned on. They're getting the tracking turned off. So companies can't track them. Well, in return, when it comes to Facebook and YouTube, right? Creators like on Instagram and stuff like that, well, that literally cuts into their money. Now, I'm gonna give you guys another example. So you're watching one of my videos online, right? And the video that you're watching, I'm talking about a bike lock, okay? I'm saying you should buy this bike lock. It's really, really cool. The link is in the description below. Instead of you going to click on the link in the description, a commercial pops up. A commercial pops up for the same exact bike lock I'm talking about because I put the name of the bike lock in the title, right? So this is how the algorithm works, right? It shows you that bike lock. As I just got done talking about it, you see it. So what you do, you click on the commercial. When you click on the commercial, basically it tells that company that this person was watching Jermaine Ellis's video and this person just clicked on this commercial, right? So that kind of like bumped up that YouTuber's pay because you just clicked on that commercial, right? Now, if you click on that commercial and actually buy that item like right then and right there, oh yeah, that YouTuber's gonna get a kickback and that company's gonna know that, this person was watching this video that Jermaine Ellis created and now this person went on to buy this item that Jermaine Ellis was talking about. So you guys get where I'm going. So now when you have Facebook and YouTube, it's harder for them to track because Apple has put this button up there, track or allow or do not allow to track. So many people hit do not allow to track and this is the result. So now you have people that used to make videos all the time. Well, a lot of people just don't make videos anymore because they just don't make as much money off of the videos. Now, to some creators, they use YouTube as a platform to promote everything else that they're doing. Now, to some creators, this is not the thing. Some creators just strictly only they only put their videos on YouTube and they only make money off the AdSense on YouTube, right? Now, on the flip side, you do have people that sell courses and sell this and sell that and sell this and dating courses and traveling classes. And yeah, you have people out there that can, they can monetize all these other things, right? So with Patreon, there's also OnlyFans that has blown up in popularity as well, right around the same time. Now, if you think about Patreon and OnlyFans, what do they have in common? They're both pay sites. Now, usually when people talk about promoting their Patreon, they're usually not talking about the same exact things that they would promote on OnlyFans, right? I notice a lot of people on YouTube that promote Patreon are typically people who are, maybe they have a course, or maybe they're into dating, or maybe they have some extra videos that they want to sell that they don't want to put free because they're talking about a particular topic and they want to make money off of that, right? You have a lot of creators that are taking the Patreon route. But then you also have different creators. I see a lot of girls, right? A lot of people that are into fitness. They're taking like the OnlyFans route, right? And once again, when you have a company like Apple, cutting that tracking, it really starts to hurt. And this is why you see so many people online like, add me on Patreon. I only talk about this on Patreon. There's some creators I follow. People will ask them things in the chat like, what kind of camera do you use to make your videos with? And people will say, oh, if you want to know what type of camera I use, you need to add me on Patreon. Or someone will ask a very, very basic question like, what editing software do you use? Oh, if you want to know what type of editing software I use, you add me on Patreon. So it's kind of like, people aren't making as much money on, YouTube off the ads. A lot of people out there can't, necessarily make a course of what they're talking about. For example, a lot of times online, I'm talking about like electric bikes, or I'm talking about, life in San Francisco. It's kind of hard for me to make a course talking about, oh, this is how you buy an electric bike, or this is how you navigate San Francisco. It's kind of hard for me to sell a course like that, right? Now, if you're a type of person, you're talking about stock market, and you're talking about options, and you're talking about, really confusing stuff that a lot of people don't know about, it can very, very well be much, much easier for you to promote that like on YouTube and then get people to go and add you on that other platform. Or if you're just providing more value, like I follow a couple fashion people, right? And they talk about clothes all the time, but they never ever tell you where to get the clothes from. And if you want to know where to get the clothes from, you either have to add them on Patreon or you add them on OnlyFans. And they have videos on there that will literally explain to you, this is where I get my shoes from, this is where I get my clothes from, these are the people. They literally break down everything, and it's behind a paywall. And once again, it's just another way of creators, they're just trying to make money, especially with all the changes that have happened, in the social media space since the pandemic. After the pandemic started, so many new people came to social media, and so many people, started to upload, and so many people became influencers, right? Now, to sum this video up, a lot of YouTubers are not making as much money. And also, I think another reason why people just don't post as much is the rise of Reels. You have a lot of creators that don't necessarily like to make Reels. And then you also have a lot of creators that Reels don't really work as good for their content as Reels work for other people's content. If you have long podcasts and you're talking for an hour, 2 hours, Reels can work very good for you because you can, cut out that golden nugget and put it out as a Reel. But Reels just don't necessarily work good. I mean, sometimes I really enjoy watching long form content, something I can just sit back and, have an earbud listening to, and I'm doing something else. And then there's another time where I actually want to watch shorts, right? I want to watch Reels, and I want to sit there and hold the phone the whole time and pay attention to the phone the whole time. So I don't know, it's just a couple things thrown out there. It's something I've noticed just being a creator, the rise of Patreon, the rise of OnlyFans, also the rise of, people who, just don't create content as much because, the ad, you don't get ads, maybe your videos are not pushed out to people. People have the bell notifications cut on and they still don't, get a notification. And then there's so many other places to consume content on. I mean, Twitter is probably going to be, one that more and more people will upload videos to in the future. I mean, this is just my guess, just because it's just a different platform. And also Instagram and Facebook. Like, as of now, I upload way more videos to Instagram and Facebook than I do YouTube. But for years, like, YouTube was like my number one thing. But as of now, I'm trying to make more long form content for YouTube, especially during the month of December, because, daylight savings time and it's dark and people watch more videos and it's cold and yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Just thought I would make a video talking about why you don't see some of your favorite YouTubers post as much as they do. And this is coming from a YouTuber. Anyway, thanks all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and peace out, y'all.